Our research project is on communication competence and technology. Our group members are Shannon Karpinski, Trey and Jeremy Hermann. This is the introduction portion of our video.
Our hypothesis was self-reported levels of communication competence in college students will be positively related with their reported usage of technology. Vaughan indicates that students say that a blended learning model provides them with greater time flexibility and improved learning outcomes. Faculty suggest that blended courses, in-class and online, create enhanced opportunities for teacher-student interaction, increased student engagement in learning, added flexibility in the teaching and learning environment, and opportunities for continuous improvement. In addition, from an administrative perspective, blended learning presents the opportunity to enhance an institution's reputation, expand access to an institution's educational offerings, and reduce operating. A study was done observing the impact of using individual communication technologies on student learning, motivation, pressure, and performance. The results showed that instant messaging helps bonding the two roles, student and instructor. In addition, the results also show that internet communication media can significantly increase student motivation without causing higher pressure. Not only does online communication affect students, but it affects teachers as well. Studies have indicated that when teachers believe technology uses are valuable, they are more likely to incorporate those into their practices. Not only do teachers use technology to address professional needs, but they also use technology to address student needs.
On to the method portion of our video.
Hey guys, so I'll be going over the participants portion of the study. So while doing our survey, we decided to email some of our classmates, along with posting the survey to Facebook. Since our hypothesis was geared towards college students, a probability sample seemed like the perfect option. By sending out this survey based on random selection amongst college students, this meant that different units in our population had equal probabilities of responding, giving us the results we needed in order to move on with our study.
The total number of participants we had take our survey was 61. We only had 50 participants take our survey and fully complete it though.
Next we'll be going over the procedure portion. Using Qualtrics, we released a survey with 3 statements that we thought could be answered by the common college student using 2 Likert scales. The first one, we used 3 statements pertaining to behavior from 1, never to, and 5, all the time. We asked them to indicate the frequency in which they partake in the described behavior. So this included use of email for academic purposes, use of Facebook for academic purposes, use of their phones for academic purposes. Next, we gave them 12 situations in which they might need to communicate. We asked them to indicate how competent they believed they were to communicate in each of the situations. Once again, using a Likert scale, we asked them from 0 to 100 on how incompetent to competent they were. So we presume 0 equals completely incompetent and 100 equals completely competent. So our first question was, present a talk to a group of strangers, talk with an acquaintance, talk in a large meeting of friends, talking in a small group of strangers, talk with a friend, talk in a large meeting of acquaintances, talk with the stranger, present a talk to a group of friends, talk in a small group of acquaintances, talk in a large meeting of strangers, talk in a small group of friends, and present a talk to a group of acquaintances.
For the 3 questions on technology use, we conducted our own originated questions. For the 12 questions on communication competence, we used the questions and scale of Mikrowski JC and Mikrowski LL 1988.
In our study, we used 2 different Likert scales. The first one was a 100-point Likert scale, where we asked participants to indicate how competent they believe they are to communicate in each of the situations we described. We asked them to presume that 0 equals completely incompetent, and 100 equaled completely competent. For example, we asked them to indicate how competent they believe they are in using email for academic purposes. The second scale was a 5-point Likert scale. We asked participants to indicate from 1, never, to 5, all the time, the frequency with which they partook in different described behaviors. For example, we asked them to indicate the frequency in which they used email for academic purposes.
Moving right along to the final results of our research. On to the results. To test the hypothesis that self-reported levels of communication competence in college students will be positively related with their reported uses of technology, a correlation test was conducted. Analysis revealed no significance in the relationship between communication competence and usage of technology. R48 equals 0.13, P equals 0.18. Thus, the hypothesis was not supported. Here are the results for our data. We used a correlation test to see if there was a strong relationship between our two variables. As you can see, the results are 0.177 and larger than 0.05, which means there is no significance. Now wrapping up with the discussion section of our presentation. Here again are the results of our correlation test. Once again, you can see the number of participants was 50 and the significance was 0.177 and larger than 0.05. The results implicate that the amount of technology college students use does not have any effect on how well they communicate. This means that the technology is not making college students better or worse communicators, and the hours spent on technology isn't changing the way we communicate or think about how well we communicate. The results also show that it doesn't seem to be that college students are using their technology to communicate more with their academic professors and other school-related communication. There were a few limitations we experienced with our research. Because we only distributed the survey to our Facebook friends and classmates, this does not mean it applies to everyone's Facebook friends and their classmates. Another problem with having our Facebook friends take the survey was that we did not have an age question on our survey and anyone could have taken it, meaning some results are not related to only college students. This means that adults may have participated in the survey, messing up the results and making them not 100% accurate. Future research. We thought of some things that we would really like to look into in future research on this topic. There was no question about gender on our survey, and we believe that because of different personalities between men and women, that if we were to distinguish between the two, that it would be interesting to see if there is a difference in technology use and communication competence. Adding more questions about the specific technology use would also be very interesting. Extending the research to include all students in school due to the fact of early age that students start using technology would make the data stronger in the future as well. Another strong question on our survey that we could add would have been for age. Having answers for age would allow us to see what people are no longer in college or the high different levels of ages that are still in college, and we can exclude the numbers that do not fit our survey. This would make our research results a lot stronger and more accurate in the end. Conclusion. To wrap up our research presentation, the data that we found on our topic showed to be insignificant. This unfortunately meant that our hypothesis was not supported, and we must accept the null hypothesis. Hopefully, With a larger range of questions and more experience in the research field, the next hypothesis will be a supported one. For Shannon, Karpinski, and Jeremy Hermann, I'm Trey Waneke. Thanks for listening to our presentation. What's up, Adam? What's up, Andrew? What's up, COM 2010? Let's get it. Registering for classes, damn, what's that? Oh, COM 2010, I'm about to take that class. Wake up at noon with the crack of dawn. Running to class, blasting what? This song. Hour and 15 minutes, feeling like a lifetime. Keeping us from this knowledge, that's the real crime. Research methods, but you better leave qualitative. In this class we crack numbers and do it quantitative. Blow my brains, keeping up with t-tests. Screw the Kardashians and just leave Jesus. So many formulas, man, I'm gonna lose. Except we got SPSS to help us right through. I sit in the front row every single day, praying I don't hear Adam call out my name. Thrown in a group project since day one. Meeting after meeting, gotta have some fun, ayy. Cool group members and we got on a roll. Positive attitudes kept us up with some soul. I'm talking chi-squared, you talking correlation. It's all good, let's just build a foundation. Testing two variables, but one topic. Keep it independent, that's my number one pick. I have a dream and had one almost every day, but keep trucking along trying to pave the way. Killing every flow with every single rhyme. Class starts at 2 and I'm always on time. No eye clicker necessary to keep it real. Anonymous teacher eval to say how I feel. 4 eyes all the time looking like a nerd. But no matter what Adam says, memorize every word. No need for 2 chains, COM 2010 got class. Careful of the exams or they'll knock you on your ass, ayy. Running around finishing homework sets. Don't forget research credits or studying for the test. Working hard for an A 24/7. Hope I'm walking the right path to find the gate to heaven. Chain to COM 2010 like a mean dog. Lectures being thrown at me leaves me in a fog. Fighting a war like I was in League of Legends, but it's more like the Dark Knight coming in with a vengeance. Turning around this final project in my favor and fixing my laptop back to the good screensaver. Finishing up the class with the 1-2 punch. Go Mike Tyson on COM 2010 as a bunch. Loving life in the whole COM department. Yeah, I'm from Detroit, don't get confused with Flint. Finally done with COM 2010, now what to do? Pop the champagne, kick back and do you, ayy. Dr. Orby, Dr. Edwards, both of you. And now, welcome Dr. Khan. Thank you, COM Department. Love you all. We out.